Welcome to Delistember. Now, of course, today we're talking about TV shows. And, well, 2017 had a crap ton of TV shows to the point where I honestly could not watch them all, so if I miss any, I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments below which ones I need to watch, but yeah, there are tons, so I'm going to try to do my best here. But before we get to that, some ground rules. First up, it does not have to be a brand new TV show. All it has to do is have brand new episodes in 2017. And second off, no repeats. If I've talked about it in past years, I just want to leave the entries open for brand new listings or, new entries. But there is one exception to this, anthologies. If it's an anthology series, well, each season or each new episode is a completely different thing, so, that's an exception. Regardless, let's get to it. Here are my top 5 TV shows of 2017. Now, this is a show that I'm honestly pissed off I couldn't put on my last year's list because it came out right after I put on my 2016 list. So, I'm making amends. But yeah, if you haven't caught any of my past reviews of this show, I'll be brief. It's a love letter to classic cartoons of the 80s and 90s, yet with the production values of a DreamWorks film, and what you have here is one of the best projects from Guillermo del Toro. It's hilarious, action-packed, extremely well-written, and honestly fun for all ages. It's truly a great show, and I'm honestly stoked to see what Tales of Arcadia leads to. Because thankfully, this is only part 1 to something much bigger. Oh great, this show again. Yes, back in 2015, this topped my list, or at least season 2 topped my list as the best show. But yeah, this show is not losing any steam. Now, if you are unfamiliar, yes, this show is an anthology series, so this counts. But besides that, this show has been 3 for 3. Nothing but utter greatness on all fronts. The story's amazing, the characters are top-notch, especially the main heroine and the antagonist. The directing is masterful, and the cinematography is actually innovative. If you know anything about, like film coloring or like film editing, what the creators did here is they took, because there's a red channel, a green channel, and a blue channel. They just completely deleted the whole blue channel, and it gives this the picture this very somber and just very grayish look. And it's honestly kind of haunting, yet really, really cool looking. Overall, the show may be seen as, more of the same, but yeah, it is more of Fargo. When the hell is season 4 coming? Easily one of my favorite shows of this decade. I don't know what took me so long to put it on one of these lists, but it is just utterly fantastic. And the fact is, we finally got the final season of this show this year. So I was more than inclined to put this on here. If you don't know of the show, here's a simple synopsis. The show is a fictionalized retelling of the very real computer industry boom in the early 80s to the early 90s. Being a geek and being well educated in the world of tech does add enjoyment to the series, but the real reason to watch are the characters. Every single aspect of these characters are, just very dynamic, and, you just learn to love and hate them. Whether, a moment because they're either, doing something to another character or just being selfish for their own personal reasons. It's just every single thing they do, you care. And every event, everything they do just carries weight. And that's what it mostly is. Yes, the story is secondary. You really want to watch the show for the characters. And like I said before, you really, really get invested. To top it off, add in a great retro style that pretty much goes along with each of the seasons, going with each year or each era. And you got a show that's just well made on all fronts. I'm honestly sad to see the show go, but honestly looking back, well, with the brief time that I had with it, I'll cherish it forever. Yeah, I gotta be completely honest. My favorite David Fincher film is Zodiac, so this was an absolute given. But what makes this show high on my list is how far it will go to show what you don't want to see. At points, it doesn't make sense. How can such a gentle person commit such atrocities? And that's when the fear begins to set in. Acting as a loose retelling of how the FBI began to classify serial killers as, well, serial killers, it dives into the psyche of how demented the human mind can go. and how far one man will go to understand it all. And that's one thing that really shines about the show, the characters. I mean, the acting's great all around, but the acting on all of the characters playing real-life serial killers, those are the ones that are just breathtaking. I mean, they are... It's really weird how when you... Like, I've actually watched, like, old tapes and, like, old, like, you know, like, surveillance footage of the old, like, interviews with the actual serial killers. And my god, did they nail it. It is terrifying how well they do it. But yeah, as a whole, the show is riveting, grossly intelligent, and has the classic 70s Zodiac style that I've grown to love. If you are at all interested in psychology, this is the show to get into.
Yes!
This is just utterly mind-blowing. Hands down the best X-Men production ever in my eyes. From the creator of Fargo comes a show that dares to innovate, and at the same time respect the source material by innovating. It's a rabbit hole of insanity, and all that you're left with in the end is a near perfect show. From the directing to the visuals and the overall story, everything about this is created with such finesse and chaos that it's hard not to get sucked into it. I mean, just overall, the editing, the freaking cinematography, the visuals, it's just insane. I mean, half the time you don't know what the hell is going on, but you're not being distracted. Everything about it means something. Every single frame means something. It's not just, oh, here's like some random thing. No. Everything matters, and you better keep your eyes open. You blink, you might miss something. Even though the show will probably shove it in your face a couple more times, because that's what the show likes to do. It just likes to just rattle your head and just keep making sure that it's looking right at you. And it's going, hey, you paying attention? You paying attention? Overall, it's just a fantastic show. Oh yeah, and of course the acting. As I mentioned before, the other shows, the acting. Now, Rachel Keller and Dan Stevens offer just fantastic performances here. I mean, A+. But Aubrey Plaza steals the show. I mean, I don't want to ruin anything, but my god, that... If she doesn't get an award for this, that is a crime. But yeah, as a whole, it's an amazing start to something new. And I cannot wait to delve into the minds of David and the creators once again. Well, that's the list. And now, some honorable mentions. Now, the first two are two shows that should have been on this list, but again, no repeats. Stranger Things, Season 2. It's Stranger Things. I mean, whether you love it or you hate it, I don't know why you would hate it, but it's just utter it's just great. Greatly written, fantastic nostalgia, everything about it I just love. And it's just... This season just got much better than the first one, because it just had to expand more. Next up, Mr. Robot. Again, the third season, but regardless, this show was being consistently good. Watch it yourself. That is a show I definitely want to spoil a damn thing about, because that one is just a rabbit hole of what the hell. Next up, now these are the new ones, American Vandal. Hands down the funniest TV show I saw this year. I mean, it's a mockumentary in like the style of like How to Make a Murderer. It's hilarious. It's just really well written, and honestly, just damn well made. Next up, Glow. I don't know what else to say about Glow. It's just fantastic. Alison Brie, freaking Mark Maron, fantastic performances all around. Everyone in that show is great, and honestly, it's so good that it made me want to watch the documentary that's based off of, or the actual events that actually happened. But yeah, next up, Sneaky Pete. This is a show that a lot of people aren't really talking about because no one even knows it exists. It's on Amazon, so that's probably one of the reasons, but watch it. Sneaky Pete, I mean, it stars Giovanna Ribisi, and it's produced, I think, made by Bryan Cranston. It is just fantastic. It's a con man kind of TV show. It's just so well paced, and I absolutely love the performances. Next up, The Punisher. I mean, as adaptations go, this one's perfect, at least compared to the other ones. This is a great show if you love The Punisher, and if you just love Marvel in general, this is one to watch. Next up, Ducktales. What the hell? I did not expect that to be good. I mean, when I heard, oh, they're remaking Ducktales, I mean, granted, I wasn't a huge fan of the originals. I mean, I was too young, you know, I grew up with them, but I didn't really get them, you know, they were very simplistic, you know, kid shows, you know, just colors on the screen. But this one is so damn good. I mean, it should have been this list, like the top 5, but I just want to give it a little more time to make, you know, there's better shows. But I get the feeling that the show is just going to get better and better. and I easily see it, you know, cracking into my next year list because, goddamn, that is just so well written. I mean, it's a kid's show, but it's so smart. Damn it. Next up, F is for Family. This show is less smart, but it's made by... It's smart in the sense of, like, life. Like, my god. It's made by the comedy genius of Bill Burr. I love him as a comedian, and I love him as a writer for Chappelle Show. But F is for Family is just hilarious. Another great TV show. It is hard R. That's one thing. It's a cartoon show, but it's a hard R TV show, so do not let your kids watch that. Next up, kind of a sleeper hit, Santa Clarita Diet. Did not expect this to be good, but Drew Barrymore as a zombie. That's not spoiling anything. That's the premise. Just watching the show, watching the family, you know, having to deal with it, and literally watching Timothy Olyphant just lose his mind over the course of the show is just so enjoyable to watch. Next up, these next three are just obviously, you know, my fan favorites. Oh, I'm a fanboy, whatever. Rick and Morty, The Flash, and Ash vs. Evil Dead. Rick and Morty just gave us a great season. The Flash, again, giving us solid, you know, just a really solid show. Changing it up a little bit. It's more of a comedy now, kind of reflecting more of the comics, which I kind of enjoy. And of course, Ash vs. Evil Dead. Oh, God. I cannot wait to see what they do with Season 3. That's all I can really say about that. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole list. There's a lot of TV shows I've seen this year, and that's not even including TV shows that, you know, that are old, that I managed to just get through this year. You know, like shows that came out in the 80s or like the 90s. But yeah, one show I didn't watch, and I know I've been talking about this for freaking, you know, years. Twin Peaks. I just didn't have the time, let alone the actual service to be able to watch it. So I will correct that very soon, don't worry. But if you're wondering where that's at, yeah, so am I. I'll watch it eventually. And I'm pretty sure that it could have easily topped this list. Not maybe at number 1, but who knows. But yeah, regardless, if there's any TV shows I missed, please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I would like to hear your guys' you know, favorite TV shows, you know, or just overall favorite anything this year. But yeah, that's the video. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.